Okay, well, welcome to a virtual chat on the power of peptides. I'm really grateful that you guys are joining live tonight. For those of you that were able to Zoom in with us tonight, or if you're watching this recording later, I really hope and I know I feel confident that you will learn something new tonight. So, my name is Allie Long, Alicia Long, and I am a natural health therapist pursuing a 4-year degree to become a naturopathic doctor. I am not a doctor as of yet, so anything I share tonight is not medical advice whatsoever. But I am extremely passionate about sharing what I've learned, what I know, and some of the topics that I've taken a deep dive into. So if you are just joining us, I don't know who just joined, but I saw a name pop up. So thank you for joining on mute. I appreciate that. And please hold all questions until the end. So as we go through the presentation, we can save all those questions until the end. All right, so I am going to share my screen. And I'm going to pull up a presentation. Okay, so you guys can all see my screen, correct? Yes, okay, great. Um, let's see, I'm going to go back to, oops. Okay, I would like to. So I wanted to present with the notes on the side. Can somebody tell me, can you see just the slides or can you see where it says a note section? Can somebody tell me what you see?
Both.
You can see
Both.
both. Does it block the slide for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
It does. Okay, great. So you do see what I see. So I'm just going to shorten this then. Okay, thank you for telling me. I just want to have the note section up for when I need it. So we'll just kind of move this over. Oops. All right, thank you for bearing with me. I'll just pull this over for now. Okay, so you guys can see what is all the fuss about peptides. You guys can see that slide.
Yes.
All right, great, cool. Thank you. All right, so diving right in. This isn't going to work. I'll pull that up later. Okay. A peptide is a short chain of amino acids linked together by peptide bonds. Peptides are typically made up of 2 to 50 amino acids. Long chains of 51 or more amino acids are called polypeptides. So I'm just educating you guys, taking you all the way back to your biology class and just giving you this info so that you have a review. Proteins are made up of 1 or more polypeptides. And peptides perform many very important biological functions in the body, including hormones, blood pressure regulation, and balancing extracellular fluid. So peptides are extremely important to the body. There are different kinds of peptides. So I threw in a couple visuals for you to see the vasopressin regulating the fluid in our body, oxytocin, which is our love hormone. Defensins help with wound healing, and angiotensins regulate blood pressure. So those are just some examples of certain kinds of peptides. Hormones are the body's chemical messengers. Hormone literally translates to set in motion. It is these messengers in our body that tell different parts of our body what to do. So, chemically, hormones may be classified as proteins and polypeptides, which are chains of amino acids, which just reminding you of that, and then steroids, which are lipids or cholesterol. So examples of steroids would be testosterone, cortisol, estradiol, aldosterone, insulin, things like that. This picture I just wanted to pull up so you can see how, and just in case you forgot, how incredible our endocrine system is and how many different hormones are released and are always communicating in our body in all the different systems, from our pineal gland to our hypothalamus, to our thyroid, to our stomach, our liver, our ovaries, our uterus, our testes, kidneys, pancreas. I think oftentimes people forget how many different systems of the body are responsible for the hormone interaction. So I just wanted to show that to you to remind you. Peptide hormones are hormones that are made of chains of amino acids, and the body produces a wide range of peptide hormones. which circulate in the blood and bind to receptors on targeted organs and tissues. In women, for example, the peptide hormones CG and LH are produced by the ovaries or placenta and play an important role in reproduction. Insulin is a 51 amino acid peptide hormone. Insulin's role in the body is multifaceted to control metabolic homeostasis, including glucose uptake from the blood and storage of glucose as glycogen in the liver. Okay, so I know this is a lot of information, but it's just a review to really get you to understand how peptides work. There are two categories of peptides, endogenous and exogenous. So endogenous are made by the body and naturally released. So we are always making peptides on our own. Exogenous are manufactured or produced outside the body. Manufacturers and chemists have known for a very long time the power of peptides, and they make exogenous versions administered orally or by injection. I don't know why I can't get my words out tonight. So exogenous means outside the body, and they're made to be injected through injection, or they can be taken orally. So I'm going to give you an example, and this is an example that a lot of us hear all the time, especially now in the news. So I just wanted to bring it up so that we can become familiar and be educated. So GLP-1. GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide. It is a naturally occurring hormone, you guys, produced in the intestines that plays a crucial role in regulating blood sugar levels. So we actually produce GLP-1 in our small intestine. It's something that our body makes. Functions of GLP-1 stimulate the release of insulin from the pancreas, lower blood sugar, suppress the production of glucagon, another hormone that raises blood sugar. And GLP-1 slows down the gastric emptying, making you feel full longer. It reduces your appetite. So when we hear about GLP-1 a lot in the news, and we hear about these drugs that are GLP-1 antagonists, not produced by the body, but we're putting them into the body. A lot of the reasons that people want to be on these drugs is for these reasons, whether it's diabetes or weight loss. But I think it's important that you understand how it works and that we do produce it on our own. Again, if you have questions about this, please write them down and we can get to them later. So GLP-1 agonists are synthetic drugs that mimic the action of GLP-1. They are used to treat type 2 diabetes by improving blood sugar control and reduce the risk of cardiovascular events. Supplements or injections contain synthetic peptide hormones and are often marketed for weight loss and muscle growth. Some of the names that you might have heard of are Ozempic or Wegovy. They are produced synthetically in a lab for use in prescription and experimental drugs to treat various disorders and diseases. Peptide hormone abuse can increase long-term risk for atherosclerosis, which is plaque buildup in the walls of the arteries, thrombosis, blood clotting, osteoporosis, or cancer. Now, let me make sure I reiterate. Any pharmaceutical drug is going to have side effects. And so telling you the side effects of GLP-1 antagonists or Ozempic and Wegovy, I think that if you're going to inject anything in your body or take any kind of pharmaceutical drug, it's always a really good idea for you to know what's in it and then also the consequences or the side effects, rather. That's a better word. There is a website called justtheinserts.com, and I think she does a really great job of taking the inserts of all pharmaceutical drugs and other things. She's got other things listed on there as well, and just really breaking it down into layman's terms for you. So moving on from GLP-1, this was just an example for you of a synthetic peptide. Companies like Make Wellness have a line of bioactive precision peptides that are specific small amino fragments, generally 2 to 20 amino acids long, obtained from natural plants and animal sources. Make Wellness shares on their website that their supplements have a high oral bioavailability and are vital to human physiology, primarily acting as signaling agents. They play a crucial role in various physiological processes and can influence body chemistry in several ways. Okay, so why I wanted to bring this up is I feel like we've got three buckets here, okay? We've got the peptides that the body creates, right? Its own peptides. We've got synthetic peptides that are made in a lab, that are made for medicine, that are made for pharmaceuticals. And then we now have this third option coming into play here by a company called Make Wellness. And I think other companies are probably jumping on board with this, where they are peptides that are more bio like the body. So they're more bioavailable. And when we take them, instead of the body seeing it more as a foreign entity, it sees it more like the body. It's more bioavailable. And so this is a third option as well. Again, you guys might have questions about that. This is just for educational purposes. So please write down your questions for later. Okay, so I'm just going to recap that one more time. The body creates its own peptides and amino acids. There are also a handful of essential amino acids our bodies do not produce. And we need to get those from food sources or supplements. So we've got our essential amino acids the body needs and our non-essential that the body creates. Scientists discovered a long time ago that synthetic peptides can benefit the body, but they're not naturally occurring and they can have long-term health consequences. Wellness companies are now making nature-based peptides. And I put that in parentheses because I've never taken them. I've never, spoken with anyone from this Make Well company. So when they say nature-based peptides, I don't actually know where they come from. I just know that they're claiming they're nature-based and they're using plants and marketing them more as bioavailable to the body. So it's good to have choices, and it's even better to be informed and educated. So now that you know about those three options, are you ready to learn about a technology that was discovered 20 years ago that is non-transdermal, which non-transdermal means it does not go into the body, nothing goes into the body, and uses peptide amino acids to activate your own dormant stem cells. So now we have a fourth option, okay? So we've covered a few and we're going into a fourth option. So Life Wave patches. And this is the part that I would like to grab my notes here for. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go grab my notes so we can talk about these peptide patches that allow you to activate your own dormant stem cells. And here, we'll just do it just like that. There we go. Okay, so let me start by telling you what these patches have done for me and my family. For me, it has improved my energy. I have more consistent energy throughout the day. I was able to get off of my antidepressant and anti-anxiety medication that I was on for 9 years, and I was able to do it responsibly. I have a lot less anxiety and less inflammation. For my dad, he has had success with his shoulder. He's had improved energy and inflammation. For my mom, she's had improved energy, reduced pain. And for my stepmom, she's been able to recover from surgery with a lot less pain. And she's seen a lot of little benefits too that are kind of exciting with her nails and her hair and her energy. The last Zoom that we did, they actually both shared their testimonial along with a couple other people. If you guys want to hear in-person testimonials of people that have been on these patches, Patch EDU, and I'll put that in the notes, is a great place for you to see those testimonials. I don't actually have anyone on tonight sharing testimonials because the purpose of tonight is merely for education, but there are a lot of them out there. Some people are calling this the most prolific regenerative technology of our lifetime. And I'm not qualified to say that, but it is pretty incredible. So, few disclaimers. We are not treating, curing, mitigating any diseases, and once again, I'm not a doctor. So these patches that we're talking about tonight and this peptide technology, is just for educational purposes, okay? All right, so what are stem cells? Stem cells are our master cells, and they help the body repair and renew. Found throughout our bodies in various tissues and organs, stem cells replenish dying cells and regenerate damaged cells. They regenerate damaged tissue by entering the bloodstream and then mitigate to that area. Examples are red blood cells, heart, and lung tissue. So just kind of an overview for you guys. And actually, we're going to talk about this in the next slide. But our stem cells actually become dormant at a certain point in our life. And as you can see, stem cells are crucially important to the body. Uh, just real quick review. What the problem is hundreds of millions of people are experiencing symptoms of aging. The fewer stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. By age 30, half of our stem cells are active. So the other half are starting to go dormant. And by age 60, you lose almost all stem cell activity. So that's a real problem. That's a real problem. And that is where these patches come into play. This is the founder, the inventor of the patches. His name is David Schmidt. He's the inventor of X39, which is one of the patches. He has over 180 patents. He's a scientist, an inventor. And his patented technology took 10 years and $4.5 billion to bring to the market. So it's a pretty big deal. And it's actually newer. And you guys get to learn about it tonight. So someone at the bottom in their notes wrote, he's Elon Musk smart, but just more humble. I like that. Okay, so life wave growth went from 20 million in 2021 to 320 million in 2022. They're in over 75 countries. They're not a Me Too product. They do help with weight loss, skin care. David Schmidt, he originally found this technology to help the Navy SEALs. The Navy SEALs asked him to develop the technology to keep the men on submarines awake for 24 to 36 hours. And his first patch was the energy enhancer. So that was kind of how these patches came to light. And there's a lot of other kinds now. So it is a patented technology. As I mentioned before, it's worn on the human body, but it's non-transdermal. It causes a beneficial effect, at least by providing phototherapy to the human body, and we'll talk about what phototherapy is. It elevates copper peptides, including activation of stem cells, improvement in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, improved stamina. It does a lot of things. And I truly I never wanted to, like, moving forward in my practice, I made a decision that I don't ever want to share something or talk boldly about something until I firsthand see it work. And I have seen this firsthand work with so many people. There are so many stories. So it's pretty incredible. Okay, so here are some people in the news that are wearing the patches. David Beckham, and let's see if I can see some of the names. David Beckham, Michael Phelps, the U.S. swim team, most recently Mike Tyson, which that didn't go so well for him, but he was patched up. And RFK Jr. also wears the patches. So just kind of fun to see who's patching up in the news. So how does it work? Because you guys are probably at this point, if you know nothing about these patches, you're like, what the heck is this all about? So it's a form of phototherapy or light therapy called photobiomodulation. Our body emits heat and light, and that's the reason that night vision goggles work. Patches act like a mirror. So they reflect a certain wavelength of light back into the body. And that elevates a specific copper peptide, which then stimulates dormant stem cells. So this is how the peptide piece ties in. And I heard one person describe it as the patch itself has a peptide amino acid matrix in it. So this is one of the patches that I've taken off of myself recently. It's just a small, tiny patch, and it's got an amino acid and peptide matrix in it. So when you place it on the body, your own body's light and energy activate it to help your body activate those dormant stem cells and go to work for you for what you need. So it's a very personal experience, and everybody's body is going to be different in their response. It's not so different than how the sun works. So they used to think sunbeams for vitamin D. Actually, heat and light from the sun causes the body's increased production of vitamin D. Sorry, I'm reading from the bottom of the thing, and it says, actually, they used to think the light increased our vitamin D. Um, but the body increases the production of vitamin D from the sun. So the patches are made of nanocrystal technology. It's a combination of amino acids, sugars, and salts. And again, they're non-transdermal. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. I just didn't want to miss anything. So I'm reading to you guys from the notes. Okay, so moving on. What are some of the benefits of X39 patches and these the peptide blends? Increased strength, stamina, more energy, reduced inflammation, better mental clarity, improved sleep, skin appearance. Some people are one patch wonders and they notice something right away the first day. They get pain relief or more energy or better sleep, but that's not usually the case. There's 97% noticeable results within 90 days. I actually know a few people that are one patch wonders, they call them. I have a family member that's a one patch wonder, and right away she received benefits. And I have a really good friend that was super skeptical. She was like, "What is this stuff you're talking about, Allie? Why do you keep talking about these patches?" She finally folded and purchased them, and she sent me a text message. She was on a work trip and she was experiencing back pain from all of her travel. And she decided, hey, I have these patches. I'm going to give them a try. And she woke up from her nap 2 hours later. Her back pain was totally gone. So I would call her a one patch wonder because she had instant results. For me, it did take that 90 days. I wore the patches for 90 days. And within that 90-day window, I did start to feel my energy improve, my anxiety decrease, and I was able to make that decision to go off of my pharmaceutical drug. So that was really happy for me, and everybody's results are going to be different. Um, all right, I won't read all of this. Yeah, we'll just move on. Okay, so what are benefits of GHKCU copper peptide? So it's mentioned that the X39 patch elevates copper peptide, which is GHKCU. So if a patch elevates the GHKCU, why do we care about that? Why does that matter? Well, GHKCU copper peptides activate healthy stem cells, reduce inflammation, support cardiovascular health, neurological health, nerve regeneration, collagen, skin and hair, nails, anxiety. The list goes on and on. So that's why it is important. It was discovered 50 years ago by Dr. Lauren Picard. And if you go to PubMed, it's a Bible of biomedical publications. So you don't just have to take my word for it. You can go to PubMed and there's 150 articles on GHKCU. Very few, very few anything to do with LifeWave. So that's just saying that I'm telling you about this LifeWave technology, but you won't find articles on PubMed specifically about LifeWave, more so on GHKCU, the peptide. Okay, gonna move on to the next slide. All right, long-term results. Within the first few days of wearing these patches, 4,000 genes begin to reset. Within 6 weeks, brains become more balanced, decrease symptoms of PTSD, anxiety, and depression. Within 3 months of wearing the patches, your collagen is increased, wrinkles, hair growth, etc. And within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. In a recent study, 14 out of 15 lowered their vascular age by an average of 8 years using X39 for 6 months. Isn't that pretty phenomenal? I mean, who wouldn't want that, right? I can't think of many people that wouldn't want that. Okay, let's move on. All right. So how do you wear these patches? I actually have one on right now. I wear them 12 hours on and 12 hours off. So I've got it on my back. I don't know if you guys can see, but it goes right here at the top of your spine. And even in the picture, you can see, or you can wear it below your belly button. Super easy to wear. You don't even notice that it's on, unless, of course, you are allergic to the patch. And in that case, we need to talk about another option. So you put on first thing in the morning. You can also wear it where it hurts. They have pain patches. You can use X39 for pain, or they have specific pain patches. They have energy patches. They have sleep patches. They have I'm now just going down the road of the different patches that they have personally, and they have a glutathione patch, which you can put right here if you're sick. So I actually just told a friend of mine, I'm going to drop off a couple of her tomorrow because she's not feeling well. And glutathione is your master antioxidant in your body. You do need to make sure you are hydrating like crazy when you take these patches because it's going to help move it through your body better. Here's another way for you to look up these patches. So write this down. This is itinfo.com testimonies. This is itinfo.com is where you can find some more testimonials. And this is really cool. On that website, you can click on neuropathy, children, disability, bladder improvement, like see how it's got all these different words. You click on a word and it'll show you testimonials of how it's worked for people. This is at info.com and testimonies. Okay, so proof in topography, a topography map. So a participant that was 77 years old placed the X39 in the back of her neck. Session 1, you can see no X39, inflammation in the brain is all the red, very little stem cell activity. Session 2, 3 weeks of being on X39, inflammation was gone, improved brain coherence. Session 3 was 6 weeks on X39, complete turnaround, improved stem cell activity, better brain coherence. So this slide is from an actual study that they did using the results of a 77-year-old woman. This is a body scan of a before and after of being on the X39 patch. So you can see the red is the inflammation, and then it's reduced after using the patch. This is a fun one just for the guys. This gentleman within September, October, November, December, 6 months? 6 months time, you can see his beard is no longer white. So it happened to help this gentleman with not having gray hair. And I have met a couple people that their gray has gone. So that's kind of fun. I have yet to receive that benefit, and I only have a few stragglers at this point. So um, varicose veins. This is a big one. I know a lot of people who have had results with varicose veins. Now, these individuals are patching right at the site of the vein, but some people also patch at that normal spot right at the top. So symptoms of poor blood circulation, and you can see the change in these pictures. It says at the bottom, I told you about my dad. This slide, you guys, and the reason that I'm reading it, it's actually a slide that another he's a friend of mine, and he created this slide to give a presentation in Uganda. And he was presenting, and his dad was one of his before and afters, and his mom is one of his before and afters. So I don't know if this picture is his dad, but he's got a really great story about his dad receiving the benefits of varicose vein, circulation, just a lot of things, a lot of benefits. So that's a cool one. Um, Upper graph shows improved sleep, CPAP machine. Multiple pictures, improved skin, less wrinkles, eczema. Upper right pictures, improved eyesight. Readers, nighttime glasses. And actually, I think there's some people on this call that have already received, are starting to receive the benefits of vision, better vision being on the patches. I think that's an awesome one. And that is one that I seek. Getting older, our vision starts to decline, and these patches can help with that. Hair color, there's a gal. Wound healing, these are actual pictures. People patched up at the site of the wound, and within 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, a good friend of mine had a really bad burn. She burned her arm on boiling water, and within 7 days of using the patch, it was like completely healed. So pretty cool. This is a lady from Houston. She's turning 82 this month. She looked like a typical 82-year-old. Picture is 11 months later, significant change in appearance. Font really small, but list of all of her medications and procedures she's no longer doing. So I'm going to share this example, and you guys probably can't read it, but this woman says, in 11 months, my mother's life has been forever changed. She's off everything on this list. She's off of Synthroid for hypothyroidism. She was on it for 50 years. She's off of lisinopril, no more high blood pressure. She's off of Lasix, um, metapropyl, albuterol. She also had polio at 14 years old, limited lung capacity, metformin, progesterone, estradiol, testosterone. So she was taking hormones. It has received benefits with pain management. Oh my goodness, the list is going on. She was on Celebrex, Tramadol, ibuprofen, Tylenol, Vicodin. So this woman was on a lot of things, and these patches helped her get off of it. No more glasses. Her night vision is restored to 20/20. And it sounds too good to be true. I'm right there with you guys. When I first found out about these patches, it took me months to even like give it a chance. So I know if you're hearing this and you're like, this can't be true. I really highly encourage you to do your own research after this presentation. I can send you links, I can send you testimonies, pray on it, and just start to find your way with it. So nothing I'm sharing here is not true. It's all true, real testimonies. So 30-year-old accident with a 13-pound sledgehammer. Ouch. Never had a thumbnail till X39. X39 regenerated his thumbnail. That is pretty cool. Hair loss, rapid healing, wound healing. Oh, sorry. This one's a little, I didn't realize this one was in here. This is a horse. Um, Typically, when this happens to a horse, they need to be put down, but they patched the horse. And this one, the patch, I'm going back to memory. I think it's called carcinonone. Carcinonone. Um, don't quote me on that. I'll tell you what it actually is, but it's a certain peptide blend that goes to work for wound healing. So X39 is to activate those dormant stem cells, and then it has a plethora of other benefits. But there are other patches that have different peptide blends. Okay, so just know that. Okay, so some amazing stories of kiddos with autism. Kids becoming more verbal, engaged, motivated, improved OCD, which is amazing. This story right here, how X39 helped a 16-year-old autistic. Again, if you guys truly want to deep dive into this, I can send you actual links to these videos where you can watch their stories. There's lots of them. So you guys can always circle back with me and say, hey, Allie, could you send me a video on autism? Hey, could you send me a video on um, varicose veins, hormones, you name it. Parkinson's. So just another miracle. I cried like a baby this morning when my husband yelled for me to come to the bathroom. He said Parkinson's and his life has been a battle for him. He made me watch while he brushed his teeth with his right hand and proceeded to shave. He hasn't been able to do this in over a year. His tremors have lessened, as well as his thumb twitching. I mean, people are truly experiencing miracles with these patches, which is what I pray and hope for with all of my family and friends. And that's why I'm passionate to share the power of these peptides. The potential of the stem cell industry. So, stem cell therapy is becoming more popular. People are realizing the importance of healthy stem cells. Stem cell industry is expected to explode from 200 million to 30 billion. And I watched an interview with David Schmidt, the founder, and I don't know if it was a physician or just a podcast host, but they were talking about how expensive it is to inject stem cells into the body, thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, and then it doesn't last. So the conversation was if you could take a patch and put it on your body and activate your own stem cells and save those thousands of dollars, why wouldn't you try it? And that's kind of the dialogue that they were having because this is a really booming industry. So I don't know how many of you know a lot about stem cell therapy, but it's definitely out there. Wear it and share it technology. It's the fastest growing direct sales business in maybe the world. So it's growing fast. There's a red ocean industry and a blue ocean industry. And I wanted to keep this slide on here because a red ocean industry is a Me Too product. There's lots of competition. There's no real differentiators. And the blue ocean industry has no competition and it's patent protected. So LifeWave is a blue ocean industry. And I also really like, I have to say, not only is it the patches are non-transdermal, so they don't go into the body, but there's no harm to the body. There's no injection, there's no synthetic ingredients. And then also, when you throw away the patch, it's not contributing to the landfill in the same way that a lot of, the drugs or the pharmaceuticals do. So I really like that perk of it as well. Um, Compensation plan. So the reason that this slide is on here is because if you love the patches and you decide that, you know what, these patches are changing my life, they're changing my health, and I really want to share them with friends and family, you do have an opportunity to make some money doing that. So that was never my intention whatsoever with it. But I have been able to get to the point with my patches where family and friends purchasing patches under me are now paying for my patches and then also paying for patches that I use in my practice. So if there was a business opportunity and you were interested in additional income, that is something that we could talk about. And I just wanted to leave the one slide in here to show that to you. Um, and I think you need to ask yourself your why. What is most important in your life? Family, freedom, security, travel, less debt. And obviously, what are we without our health, right? And these patches help restore your health. If and when you fall in love with the patches and you want to share them with friends and family, they can also be an opportunity for you to get a little income. So, okay, so this is the pricing of, just to be totally transparent, I wanted you guys to see, to buy a 3-month supply of the patches is $295. So what I did was I bought a 3-month supply for $295 and I shared them with my family. So I patched up, I patched my husband, I patched my kids. And I thought, okay, we're going to give this a go. We're going to try it. And then eventually I moved myself up to the advanced package because I wanted more patches and I was, helping other people and sharing the patches and talking about the information and learning as I was going. And because they do recommend that you do no less than 3 months, starting with that core package is a really great way to experience it for yourself or other family members as well. So you can kind of decide for yourself what works. If you didn't want to do that, if you wanted to start with just 1 month supply, I can send you the link to do that as well. And of course, if you have questions, I can answer those on getting started with the patches. Okay, so that is the end of the slide show. So I am going to stop sharing my screen. And good timing. We've got plenty of time for me to look in the chat and answer questions in the chat, and then I will open it up to you guys. So here are some questions. How do you increase production of your natural producing GLP-1? Okay. How do you increase production of your natural producing GLP-1? That is a really great question. Um, I think that going back to what we talked about before, if your GLP-1 is not naturally producing at an adequate level, I can see how the next step of that would be to find a synthetic or bioavailable way to get it into the body, right? Because if your body is not producing it, I think that the thing we go to is how do I get it in the body? But to answer this question in another way, if we can find out the root cause of why the body is not producing the GLP-1, that's the key. Because we live in a world where we go, well, the body is not adequately producing it, let's give it to it. Or we go, the body's not producing it. How do we get to the root? How do we figure out what's going on in the body? Why is it not producing it? And then there's that third piece of the patch, which allows the body to start to come into homeostasis and balance. So I think that's how I would answer the question. If your body is not naturally producing GLP-1 to the level that it needs to be, there's a reason. And we have to figure out that reason and get to the root of that reason. Um, Also, to answer that question, there is a fantastic podcast that was put out by Dr. Corey. She's a naturopathic doctor, Dr. Corey, local naturopathic doctor in Brighton. And she gives her top 8 recommendations for natural GLP-1 increasers. So, 8 things that naturally help increase GLP-1 in your body. And if you watch her episode, I'm just going to give you the cliff notes right here because I loved her episode. So, natural ways to increase your GLP-1, top 8, chromium. Chromium. It is the chief mineral that the pancreas needs to stabilize insulin and blood sugar regulation. Chromium. Cinnamon. Cinnamon is a thermogenic and it's high in chromium. So, there are some of your keys. Um, Berberine. Have you guys heard of berberine? Dr. Mercola makes a berberine chromium blend. And the reason that berberine is so popular right now is because it works with blood sugar, glucose. It mimics GLP-1 in essence. Curcumin. Curcumin is the most powerful anti-inflammatory that we can take. And it is safe in high doses for short term. So curcumin is also known as, pop quiz for you guys, turmeric, right? And in order to activate turmeric, we need a little bit of pepper. The fourth or fifth one, I don't know which one I'm on, is Jamima. Jamima. And Jamima is an Ayurvedic medicine. And this is really cool. Jamima makes you're no longer able to taste the sweet. So if you're wanting to reach all the time for a cinnamon roll or a candy bar or something sweet, Jamima makes you no longer be able to taste the sweetness. And it also has cardiovascular benefits and blood pressure benefits. And I will type up this list and send it to you guys as well. DIM, is a compound that we metabolize when we eat cruciferous vegetables like um, cruciferous vegetables, well, cabbage, cauliflower. And it turns phytoestrogens into good estrogens. So we live in an estrogen world, right? Plastic bottles, BPAs, soy products, all these estrogens all over. So DIM, when you take it, actually takes those estrogens and turns them into the good kind. Exogenous ketones or things that spark ketones in the body, like MCT oil, collagen, good fats. Um, they're the same molecule our body makes in a state of ketosis. So you guys have probably heard all about ketones. Um, that's another way to increase that GLP-1 response. And then psyllium husk. Psyllium husk is fiber. It's natural fiber and it helps eliminate. Most of us are walking around with 5 to 10 pounds of poo in our intestines, which we don't want. We want to get that poo out. So psyllium husk is another good one. So hopefully I answered that question for you. Again, I want you guys to do your own research, but that would be my answer to that question. Um, is this something you will have to wear for life or only when you're experiencing something? Oh, that is the best question. So, how I like to think of that is wearing the patch means it's going to work. Wearing the patch means it's activating those stem cells. It's getting your body to come back into balance. So, when we stop wearing the patch, those benefits are going to stop. But how I feel about it is I'm going to wear it to get my body back to a younger, more vibrant, healthy state before all the toxins, before all the medicines, before all the pharmaceuticals. I'm going to get my body back there, and then I'll probably kind of slow down on the patches. I myself will probably wear them for my life, off and on. Because of those benefits. And the way that I like to look at this is if we have to go our whole life, that woman that was on medicine for 50 years, 50 years, she was driving to the pharmacy and she was getting all of her meds. I would much rather put a patch on every day than have to take all those medicines. So that's kind of how I look at it. But it's a great question. Um, how to use it if you're allergic to the adhesive? Okay, so this is a great question as well. And I have heard that if you're allergic to the adhesive, there's 2 things here. We have to figure out why you're allergic, and we have to detox the body and get the body to get the toxic load out of the body. And you might not have that histamine response anymore, which would be really cool. Because if you're reacting to the adhesive because you're allergic, like let's say you're somebody that's allergic to grass or allergic to, you have like sensitive skin, eczema, psoriasis, there's a reason. And oftentimes that's gut health, your histamine response, just various things. So if we can get you back into a state where you wouldn't be allergic, that would be awesome. The other option to that is you don't have to put it on your skin. You can actually stick it to a tank top. So let's say you put like a tank top on and you stuck it to the tank top, it's still going to go to work because the peptide amino acid matrix is connecting with the light. It's bio light therapy, photo light therapy. So it's still making that connection in the body. And I actually didn't realize that. I had to ask that question because the allergic question has come up before. So those are some options. Okay. Have you stopped wearing them yet? And if so, do you notice a difference? So I ran out of patches for a week. And I will tell you the biggest difference that I noticed was decreased energy. So I stopped wearing the patches for a week and I just kind of felt like, I feel okay, but I feel like wearing the patches, I've just got like this nice steady flow of energy. And fun thing for me, I've actually been able to lift heavier. So when I go to my workouts or the gym or whatever, I feel like it helps with my endurance. And then that week that I was off the patches, I kind of felt like I was dragging butt a little bit. So that's my testimony, but I would love for you to hear other testimonies because that's my own personal journey. So I love these questions, you guys. These are great. Um, Okay. Does anybody want to come off of mute and ask a question? Or, Dad, I don't know if you want to come off of mute and share your most recent story with the patches. If you don't want to, it's no big deal, no problem. But it
Yeah,
might be
yeah,
fun. Yeah. Okay, good. I'm going to remove my spotlight. There we go.
sure. The things that were discussed before and then added a couple, but for instance, the energy level that you mentioned, that's definitely there. And it's not a hyper energy. It just seems I can do more easier. And
Mhm.
also, when I do work out, those have become easier. Like you mentioned, the weights, they seem easier. My mental clarity's better. I can tell that. Oh, my knees have no pain at all anymore. I get pain in my knees, especially if I overworked them. That's gone. My
Wanna,
shoulders have improved also. Arthritis and inflammation, basically. And it's really helped that. And also my vision, my distance vision, I still wear these reading glasses, but my distance vision has just gotten a lot clearer. It's always been pretty good, but I could tell it's clear. So all these things are kind of happening, and and Sally has mentioned quite a few benefits she's had too. So those are some. Sally, you want to come over here? Oh, she's in pajamas, but you want me to take the here? She's right here. Okay.
I'm ready for bed, sorry, but
You
yeah.
always look beautiful.
But yeah, well, as I had told you once before, I had I have endoscopies, every so often because I have Barrett's esophagus. And so I didn't want to try the patches till right after my last procedure. So I was having quite a bit of pain, and a couple days after the procedure, your dad put one on my back. And I mean, within hours, my pain was gone. I've seen a real improvement in my fingernails. I used to wear acrylics, and I haven't had acrylics in years, but my nails were getting ridges in them and they would peel. Since wearing the patches, my nails are really strong and healthy again. Um, I get injections in my knees every 6 months. Um, and I had gotten them recently, but my knees are even better than they were before. Yeah, I used to go up and down our basement stairs, and we're up and down a million times because of the kitties and everything. And I had gotten, so I'd go one step at a time. I just walk down them naturally and back up, and several times a day. I had rotator cuff surgery back in 2016. I was starting to have some issues again with that shoulder. I noticed, especially like when I was scrubbing the tub and reaching way across, I was getting some pain. I'm not having that anymore. I'm a believer.
Yeah, and
So that
we,
makes me so happy. And again, that is why, and I know we've talked about this, you know, the longer we use these patches and the more people we love that use them and the more stories that we acquire, I almost can't believe it, but then I'm also so grateful that we have, you know, this tool that we can share with others. So, and
Yeah.
actually, you guys, everybody else that's on the call, I haven't heard the updates. The last time we chatted with Dad and Sally, you know, was a couple months ago when you guys had
Yeah.
just started them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, I think I'm sleeping better. Well, I know I'm sleeping better. You know, when you get to be my age, you get up a couple times during the night. But
yeah,
since I'm wearing the patches, I go right back to sleep and sleep very soundly, you know, until my normal time to get up is like 5 o'clock. So I'm usually up by then anyway. But yeah, if I have to get up during the night, I do what I have to do and I get back in bed and go sound asleep. Yeah, so
and that is another thing mentioned by someone else on here too. Uh, Getting up less during the night, you know, to go to the bathroom. It was 2 or 3 for me. Now it's just one, and I don't know how that effect happened, but it must be due to these patches, you know.
it must,
I
because I was
I
getting
just
up like 3 and 4 times, and you know, I guess your kidneys get weaker as you age, and now I'm down to 1 or 2 times during the
oh,
night. So
yeah.
it really helps with my sleep.
Mhm.
But, and I'm sure there's other stuff going on. Oh, I know one other thing. I think I'd mentioned this to you before. For years, I've gotten ocular migraines, they call them, where I get these bright white wavy lines. And it's really difficult for me to see. There's no pain involved, but, you know, I can't read or anything. If I'm driving, I almost have to pull over the side of the road. I haven't had those since getting on the patches. And I have had, I mean, for 20 some years, I've had those. So those have disappeared. So I think the patches are good.
Well, that is amazing. And I'm so
It
happy to
is.
hear that.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. We're going to say something else, Dad?
Well,
Oh, sorry, Andrew.
her friend, I just found out her friend has Parkinson's,
Mm,
and we haven't talked to him yet, but we
yeah.
really want him to
Well,
give
he's a friend of my
his friend,
friend.
yeah.
But I
Yeah.
just texted her when I heard you say that, and I said, I
Yeah.
want to talk to you tomorrow about getting your friend on these patches
help.
because it
Yeah.
certainly couldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I think too. You know, if somebody has Parkinson's or MS or something really debilitating and it's an opportunity for them to regain function in life, like why wouldn't you try
Mhm.
it, you know, if you're able, if you have the means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
this
I
man
mean,
definitely has the means, and I just met him today because we'd gone to the MSU game, and he happened to be there. And my friend introduced me, and he's just so feeble, and
Mhm.
he's younger, quite a bit younger than us.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just texted Sandy, and I said we need to talk tomorrow, so she's game for it.
Yeah, hopefully we can get him on him and it'll help him
Yeah,
out.
Yeah. Good. Well, good job, you guys.
thanks.
Thank
Awesome.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're
Wonderful
welcome.
presentation.
You know, I want to just reiterate really quick. Let's see here. I'll go back to, oh, there I am. Woo, this camera is so weird. It's a new computer, so I'm not used to it. I feel like I'm so up close. I do just want to reiterate that I feel very passionate about starting with natural means first. And
Sorry, I
so,
gotta get my.
oh, oh, you're okay. So what we learned about tonight is we produce our own peptides. We we have amino acids within our body. We have all of these things, but sometimes they're not functioning correctly. And we live in a world that wants to give us a pill. We live in a world that wants a quick fix. And I feel that it is my duty and my purpose moving forward in my life to help people find a way naturally so that there aren't those harsh repercussions to the body. And if we do need Western medicine intervention, then we need it. But tonight's presentation was just to educate you on, peptides within the body, how they work, that we already have them, and then your options moving forward of how you can support your body. So I do hope that you received it that way. I know it can be a contentious topic. Um, it can be, it doesn't have to be. But I just appreciate that you were here. I appreciate that you received this information, and I am here to answer any questions you guys have off the Zoom or now as well. So if anybody wants to open up with any final questions, feel free, or we'll just end the call and I'll send you the recording. Yes. Hi, Jess.
Hey, I have a quick question for you.
Sure.
I feel like I would need like a patch here, a patch there, a patch back here, down here. Like, how many patches do you use at one time?
Just one.
Just
Just
one.
one. Yeah. So we would start you with just one. You would start with the X39 patch because that's like the dog, the top dog that goes to work. So we would start you with that. And then my hope and thought would be, because I've seen a lot of people use these patches, is we would keep track together and you'd be like, okay, Allie, I'm starting to feel more energy. I'm sleeping better. I'm noticing my inflammation is going down. And then if you got a cold, you could call me or I could, help you find the resources and say, okay, now we're gonna order you the glutathione patches. And when you have a cold, we're gonna put those glutathione patches on, and you're still gonna keep your X39 on, but now we're gonna give you that extra patch. Or if you were 6 months in your journey and you were like, okay, I heard a lot of really great things about the Alavita patch, and I heard that it helps with wrinkles or gray hair. I heard like these other patches help. Then we could talk about that. But what you really want to start with is that X39, one patch. Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Makes it easy, right? Yes. Okay, so Rhonda, did you have a question?
Well, yeah, I guess that just opened up the door to the question. So there are different patches.
Yep. Yeah, there are.
The
But
X39.
there are. Everyone will start with the X39. That is where you want to start. That is the master, the top dog. And then from there, as the world opens up to you, you will be doing this with me. I am a resource to you indefinitely. We can start to talk about other patches and your whole world will be open, but that X39 is for everything.
Okie dokie.
Okay, easy peasy.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yes, ma'am.
I just real quick wanted to say, you might have heard our phone alarms going off. We set them for 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., get the 12-hour period on the patch. And I'm taking mine off right now, but that reminds us to 12 hours. They could go long. You could
I
go
swear I
longer,
did not
but
pay.
it just kind of reminds us,
I swear I did not pay my dad to be the perfect
No.
example.
It just happened to be 8 o'clock and you heard my
Yeah.
alarm, but
Let me take it off. Yeah,
I
so
just
it's
took it
12
off.
hours on and 12 hours off. And the
Yeah.
reason that they say that, you guys, is to give your body a break. So you give your body a break from it. And you didn't hear this from me, but I put the used patches on my dogs and I put them on their collar. So they have like the collar has two parts to it, and I stick the patch in between. So Kirsten, to your question about the adhesive, it doesn't even have to be on their skin. It's just on their collar. And I don't know. I mean, they can't tell me they're feeling it, but with the horse, look at the horse example and that horse leg, So if it's beneficial to us, it's beneficial to them. Yeah. All right. Any other questions, you guys?
And that you can bathe with it on too.
You can bathe.
Yeah, I can shower
big
with it
deal.
on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not an issue.
Yep. Same. Now, I did hear that a hot shower actually activates it more. So a real hot, steamy shower will kind of put it on double time. And I take some hot showers. So It's fine. I just double time it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah. All right. Well, if you guys have any questions later, I'm here. You all know my number. You all know my email. You know where to find me. Do you guys want that list of the top 8 that I mentioned? Yeah, thumbs up. Okay. I'm going to type up the list of the top 8, and I know everybody on this call. So I'll email it out to everybody that was on here tonight. And then I'll also send you, I'll upload this recording to YouTube in a private link, and I'll send it to you. Okay. All right, you guys, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you all. You're so welcome. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you.
Too.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.